Hey guys, Brian Schoaf here for Bombastic Reviews, and today we're taking a look at this Wrath of Krang deluxe Android body action figure by NECA Toys. So let's just jump right in here. The coolest thing about these boxes is that they emulate the look of the old VHS tapes, like right down to doing their logo in the style of the old FHE video cassettes. I think it's awesome. Really makes it hard to throw these boxes out, but I'm not keeping this thing in the box. But on the back, we got some pretty cool, got some promo shots and some nice art here. Again, it looks just like the old video cassettes. Love that. Pretty standard, you got your window box here, some nice product shot, good lighting, and you can put him on display like that if that's your thing. But it is not my thing, and I'm going to set this monster free. All right, let's go over the accessories because there's a lot of ground to cover. I think it's really cool how just deep into the cartoon they go with some of these things. Like with Baby Shredder. I mean, for God's sakes, Baby Shredder, I can hear him whining right now. His head moves. He's got a lot of posability, actually. His arms are just on a little, it's not a ball socket, it's just kind of straight up and down. And you got this break at the waist here. But, they could have just made this like one static piece like some of the other, like Hamster Mikey from the Splinter set, but they didn't. They really went the extra mile and designed articulation into this thing. You got a couple extra sets of hands. That's pretty standard. This was really cool, I thought. They gave you 2 antennas just in case you lose one, so that was really thoughtful. You got a battle axe that can plug into Krang's hand there. His laser guns, got 2 of those. This is pretty cool. You got this buzz saw. That actually spins. Love that. One of the cooler things of these weapons, I think, are these dual morning stars. And you got like an actual plastic chain on there so you can swing them around like a little wrecking ball. That's sweet. That's awesome. Now you get into some of the weirder stuff, right? Like you got this turban from that one episode where they were just out and the sun was beating down on them. That's just goofy and fun. A bar of soap. A bar, why do I remember this? Bar of soap where he's taking a shower like he's a human being. And then, of course, the little soft goods bath towel. It's just kind of like made out of felt. Krang here, I'm going to count him as an accessory because technically it kind of is. But it's cool to note that this is not the same Krang as the one that we got before. You can see here that there's just a little bit of a different expression on him. So that's about the closest that you could come to having like an alternate head on a character like that. That's sweet. And both of these guys do fit inside the Android body, so you can use whichever Krang you like. Although this one, he's a little bit bigger, so he won't fit in the Bubble Walker. So you got to use that one if you want him to go in the Bubble Walker, but very cool. All right, so before we get into articulation, I got to point out one of the most important things about this whole thing, and that's that Krang doesn't actually fit inside here, right? You can see it, like he's way too big. Even the smaller Krang, the one that goes in the Bubble Walker, you really can't slide him right in because the joysticks are kind of in, oh, okay, you're gonna make a liar out of me. Just fly right in there. But he doesn't quite wrap his tentacles around those joysticks the way that the new one does. So if this is the only one you have, I'm gonna show you how to get this guy in here. And it's funny because, it would have been nice if they'd have included like an instruction, like a piece of paper telling you how to do this, but hey, that's what toy reviews are for, right? Oh well. So what you got to do here is the top part actually removes. So this is like a little flexible piece of plastic. It's kind of rigid, but it does have some flex to it. You might want to heat that up just a little bit, like if you got a hair dryer or something like that, just to make it a little easier on yourself. But basically, you got to pry that forward just a little bit. Try and be gentle with it. And then there's 2 more clips, like right at the side here. And then just a little bit, just kind of push up with the thumb, and the whole top body comes off. And just like that, we can put our brand new Krang inside, and he fits right on that peg. And then those tentacles, the joysticks do move. I'll show you that in a minute. That's so cool, but the tentacles wrap right around the joysticks. So really, really sweet, really awesome. And then you just kind of, once you get him situated, which I'm doing a very bad job of doing on camera right now, He clips right onto that peg right there for a little bit of stability. So once he's situated, you just kind of go through and just get that reseated, just like that. All right, now for articulation. So the arms are on a bit of a swivel right there, so you get some in and out, some nice flexing like that. It's kind of limited by the shoulder pad, so there's not a ton you can do there, but the elbow is on a single joint, I believe. It's kind of nicely hidden inside there. And then the hands are on a pin so that you can remove them and then kind of swivel them in, push them out like that. The head's got a nice range, nice round socket there. He can do a lot. Just look anywhere you want, look down, which is great because he towers over the turtles. I'll show you that later on. And then the legs are on this kind of dual ball pin. It looks like there's a swivel, like a thigh swivel here. I don't think it is. I think that that's just holding that inner socket right there. So that turns around. But that by itself does provide a pretty good range right there. The knees are double jointed. You can see that. You got a top and a bottom joint right there, top and bottom pin. I'm going to have to heat that up a little bit. I don't want to force it. But it's cool for a bulky figure like this, and I noticed they started doing this on the Assassin Predator. They might have done it on other ones, but that was the first one I noticed it on. The joints kind of click. And I think for a large figure like this, that's really important because you got a lot of weight to support. So that's great. And then the feet, I did have to heat my feet up. They're on pegs, and they don't really seem to move side to side a whole lot, but they do move forward and back. And like the knee joint, they kind of click. So that's really good because, again, you're supporting a lot of weight on a little joint. So I think that's smart engineering. I just wanted to take a little bit of a closer look at the paint job here. You got this nice kind of pastel cartoon look like the other figures in the line had. They're really doing a great job with this, I think. The colors are so spot on to the show. It really looks like the cartoons coming to life, and I absolutely love that. You don't have really much of a gradient on the flesh tone, not that you really need one. You pretty much just have the markings of the Andriod lines and, you know, hey, we need the double chin there. But then inside, you got all these nice little controls. As I said earlier, the joysticks move. That's sweet. Like, they really knocked that out of the park. Like, the one thing, like, of all the things that you're like, oh man, I hope those joysticks move, they move. So that's really cool. And if you're better at this than me, which shouldn't be too hard, you should be able to get those right into the tentacles there. You can see that they're made to sort of wrap around that. So I'd have to take them apart and kind of play with that a little bit more to twist that tentacle in. But they definitely will go around there. Okay, and for the sake of comparison, these are always a lot of fun. You can see Krang absolutely towers over the regular turtles. The scale, I think they really nailed that. That's sweet. And then you can see him here next to Metalhead, who's a pretty beefy figure himself. Like, he's not small by any means. But then you see what he looks like next to Granitor, his rock soldiers. And again, those are big figures, and he just absolutely towers over them. He's bulkier, he's taller, and it really just makes him seem menacing and massive. But I got one last surprise here as a bonus. We'll put him next to the Super Shredder from Secret of the Ooze. So, you know, not quite as tall as that guy, but this might be cheating a little bit because his helmet kind of artificially makes him look a little bit taller than he is. He's got the platform shoes, so, you know, but still really cool to see how big this figure is. You could easily set up a scene where he's taking on all 4 turtles at once. Now, I gotta say, I thought I missed the boat on this guy because supposedly he went online and he was one of those figures that sold out in seconds. And I actually found Splinter and Baxter in store after finding him online, which pretty much never happens. But then this morning, I about fell over dead when I walked into Target and saw that they just had a ton of this guy. That's awesome. Not only could I be super choosy and look at which one I thought had the best paint, and not just grab the one because it was the one that I saw. But it's cool to see that people will actually be able to get their hands on them. So hopefully your Target does something similar. They get the stock out there, they increase the numbers of these things so they're not so hard to find. And then collecting just isn't as much of a nightmare for everybody. This guy is really sweet. Another essential figure that they just hit it completely out of the park. Hopefully your Target has a similar situation and the stock improves and they keep getting these guys out there. I would love to see this with all of the other turtles because, as you know, they've all been really, really hard to find. But hey, while you're here, why don't you check out some of my other TMNT reviews. I've been having a lot of fun with this line because how can you not? I mean, it's really cool, like I said before, to just see the cartoon coming to life in your hand. So hopefully the stock situation improves, and if you want these guys, you can find them. I hope they keep reissuing them because they keep selling out. So Target, if you like money, order more. NECA, if you like money, make more. It's going to happen. I have a good feeling about it. Patience is key. It's really paid off for me, so fingers crossed it works out for you guys too. But again, I just love this line, and I do plan to keep going forward with it, keep collecting them as long as I can keep finding them. So hit that subscribe button and drop a like below. It would really help me out. Feel free to leave a comment. I love talking about this stuff. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.